All right, you guys. I think I figured out the setting that I need to do when I want to go live or whatever. And I didn't do it this time. Okay, but we're live now. We're live now. So I walked my dog and I came back. So this video is going to be lighthearted, but you saw the title, You Don't Need Closure. So I was watching a video. I love Eric Thomas, his inspiration, motivational videos. And one of the videos was on I forgot what the video was on, but he made a comment that you don't need closure. Okay. And that really, really sat with me. His story, he had some, family drama or whatever. And his dad gave him an explanation. And while or after his dad gave him the explanation as to why he wasn't there or wasn't in his life and everything like that, he had things that he wanted to say, but he took a step back and he was just like, I'm not even going to give you all of that. If you believe that the explanation that you provided to me is acceptable, then I'm just going to accept that and take that on the chin. And I'm going to continue to live my life. And that really, really sat with me, coming from someone that has a tendency to hold grudges. All right. Not saying that we're perfect, but it's just kind of like, girl, I've heard the explanations. I've got the apologies from my family, and friends, and even past, partnerships and relationships and things like that. And it's never satisfying. I'm going to tell you why it's not satisfying. When you finally get the explanation that you were looking for, like you finally get the apology, that you've waited so long. And when you finally get it, and they finally say what they had to say, and this is the reason why they did what they did, whatever the case may be, it's just very underwhelming. Because as they're talking to you, you realize that they might not be the brightest. Okay. The level of awareness is just not there. Okay. Because they're talking and their apology does not sound like one. You know what I mean? I'm sorry if you took it this way. I'm sorry that you feel this way when I did this thing. So that's not even an apology. Okay. They think that that's acceptable. So let's start there. Okay. Then number two, it's just kind of like, we see where they are. All this time, you've been harboring these feelings. They've been living their life. They've been living their life, having a good time, and it's been eating away at you, not them, right? It's not eating away at them. It's eating away at you. And then the other part is, you had this transformation within yourself. You became a different person, right? You became whoever you were supposed to be based off of this moment. And this is just something that they did. They don't even realize the factors, like the extremities of the feelings and the turmoil and the things that they've done. They were this another Tuesday for them, right? So it's just kind of like you've kept all of that, you've held that, and then when they say you were hoping for some profound, because that's how it's supposed to happen in the movies. In the movies, it's supposed to have this wonderful monologue written by Shonda. You know what I mean? I want Grammy award-winning, Emmy award-winning acting. I want the whole shebang. And then you realize that that's not that's not what we signed up for. That's not what we anticipated. So it's like you spent your whole time waiting to get some type of words. Is this the reason that you came up with? This is the best you could do all this time? This is the best? This all you got? This ain't, you know what I mean? Like, I could have wrote some better stuff if I was in the bathroom. You didn't come up with nothing. Like, that's the reason. You got to let that go. You got to let it go, because it's not going to ever satisfy what you're looking for. It's not going to ever give you the satisfaction. They're not going to ever say the magic word to let you know. It's going to be underwhelmed. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is the best you got? No, you don't. Let it go. Just let it go. You don't need closure. You don't need to know why. Because I feel like once you get their explanation, it's going to make you feel even more irritated that this is what You see what I'm saying? And then you have more questions. One question will start and then you go to another question, another question, another question. And it's just kind of like they weren't there as a person. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. They wasn't there. They don't get it. They're not going to get it. They're not going to ever understand. They not. If they ain't tried to understand, they ain't going to do it. It's not going to click for them. You know, some people, they don't make it all the way through school. You know, some people just don't. You know, you probably, why? No, don't ask why. I'm telling you right, because I asked why. I'm sorry. I asked why. I wanted to know why. I wanted to know why you would feel that was okay to do as a parent. Why you feel like this is okay. Why you know what I mean? And some stuff I got my explanation for, and I was able to relive things and walk things in their shoes. And so now I understand. Like with my mom, I get it. We talk. I be like, I understand. I get it. Her explanation did it for me. You know what I mean? Her explanation really did it. I think because she didn't talk that much. You know, I get that from her. She didn't talk like that for real. She wasn't talking. She just was like, but this is, you know what I mean? And I feel like maybe we could have talked more, but like now I get it. I understand it. But then there are other things like from other family members or other people, friendships, and I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't get it. And I spent all that time, like upwards of 5 years, trying to figure out why people do the things they do, you know, and then trying to compensate, right? Trying to compensate, you know, for the fact that they are just not on that level of awareness. There's nothing that you can make up the difference of. Right? You can't spot them on the fact of they not aware. You cannot spot awareness for other people. You just cannot give that to them. You cannot pass your awareness over like it's a dollar bill across the table. You cannot do that because they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand, you know, and then, you know, they'll like keep coming up with stuff, making up excuses and all this other stuff. Or maybe you'll be making excuses for them and their behavior, right? So don't try to come up with no closure. Sometimes the fact that something ended, just let it end. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to tinker it together and things like that. I have a lot of placements in Virgo and in Scorpio, and I just be wanting to get down to the bottom of it. I want to investigate. I want to get underneath and see if there's something that we can I tinker around with things. I could have been an engineer. I could have put some stuff together. You just never know, but it's just kind of like, no. Sometimes you have to accept stuff at face value. People are who they are. They did what they did. You gotta if that's the best that they can tell you, if they did some stuff and they explain it to you and they feel like that's the best explanation that they can come up with, just go and accept it. Go and accept it and go on and just cut that off. You know what I mean? Because it's not gonna ever satisfy whatever you want it to satisfy. It's not gonna ever do for you what you feel like it should do for you. You're gonna be irritated. That like you just gonna be so irritated. Like you gonna be I in the moment you're not gonna be laughing, you're gonna be irritated, but I'm telling you right now, because it's literally hilarious, you're going to be irritated. They're gonna be jumping on your last nerve. They're gonna be tap dancing, back flipping. They're gonna be doing all the gymnastics on your last nerve. Okay, I'm telling you. So just let it go, okay? Just let that go, all right? This is just a little motivational. Just a little motivational. Get you going, okay? I'm doing my Streamtober. Check out the videos. It's a little motivational. Just let that closure, just close it on out, okay? So I will see you in the next video, probably tomorrow, okay? Yeah, because the sun's going to go down. All right, I'll see you in the next.